We address the problem that student achievement in grades K through 5 at minority-majority schools is negatively impacted when there is a limitation of technology resources. In 2007, following a 3-year study on technology in the low socioeconomic K through 12 schools, Dr. Catherine Kempker found statistically significant difference between students' access to modern computer labs and modern laptop computers. This same research found no significant differences in access to modern classroom computers in learning gains between the students of low socioeconomic schools with lack of technology resources than those who had technology resources. The most significant difference affecting the impact of technology between high and low socioeconomic students was not the technology itself, but the low socioeconomic status and the factors or behaviors that surround that particular population. Our group conducted a survey in which a group of 30 teachers and parents across the South Florida and Oahu area gave feedback on the amount of technology resources they had access to in the classroom, to the ratio of students throughout the day, in addition to the technology resources that they utilized with students on a recurring basis inside and outside of the classroom. From this survey, we found that 68% of our sample population recorded that teachers had access to 1 to 5 computers in their classroom, with the majority of class sizes being 21 to 25 students. Another point to note in our survey was the technology which teachers had access to in the classroom that they used and had students use. Our survey showed that while teachers had access to technology on a daily basis, the mainly teacher-oriented use of the technology may indicate a deeper problem. Our results showed that most teachers in our study indicated moderate utilization of technology-based homework. Through our research, we found 5 top advantages to technology in the classroom. Students have more fun with technology. There is no doubt that learning through doing is the best way to learn. By having technology, you can provide the fun with the learning. Technology helps with retention. If students work on a project, they can create a PowerPoint presentation to teach the class. This way, they retain more information than if they simply filled out a worksheet. Technology prepares students for the future. Technology is essential in today's workforce, so having them use programs like Microsoft Office and Microsoft Outlook prepares them to use these programs in their future careers. It also assists in preparing them to solve problems, which is a skill they need in the workforce. Technology helps students work at their own pace. Some students may work faster or slower than others. Technology is a great way to add enrichment or remedial work for students. Technology makes a connection with students. Students are so familiar with technology that it is a great way to communicate with them through programs like Edmodo or having them watch videos before class. Teachers are switching roles from lecturer to facilitator. This leads to a flipped classroom style way of teaching that is done through technology. Without technology, students are unable to complete work at home when many don't have access to computers or internet. One of the biggest issues in minority-majority students is the lack of technology in the homes, which several programs have tried to address by making internet affordable and having programs to make computers more affordable for lower-income students. Lessons are less interactive without technology. When using a smartboard, the lessons can come alive, such as using gizmos, which are interactive lessons in math and science, or having students come up to the board and interact by answering the questions. Without technology, students are not adequately prepared for the future. Therefore, they are not learning the skills needed to use in their future careers or when entering the workforce. Without technology, the learning gap increases between the different socioeconomic levels. The less technology these students have access to, the greater the gap is created between the more affluent schools and the minority-majority schools. In addressing the solutions, we must address all the factors that contribute to the digital divide. The first factor we have identified, and most obvious, is access to technology. One way to address this issue is by informing teachers and schools of the various organizations that are committed to bringing technology into every classroom. Here is an example of one website that brings information to the tips of the teachers' and administrators' fingers. A 10-year study conducted by Apple identified the following phases in technology and integrations for educators. One way to combat this is by making sure that the educational community at low socioeconomic schools receive appropriate and consistent training on how to effectively use technology. This brings us to our next factor, professional development. One great place for administrators, teachers, and students alike is Microsoft's webpage. There are many opportunities and incentives for teachers and a learning community with available expert support that will inspire and motivate you to learn and integrate technology. Other great resources can be found by checking your own professional development courses within your district. Third factor we have identified is technical support. Many times teachers may be motivated to integrate technology but find the technology at their school is unreliable at best. A school that wants to make full use of their technology must embrace their IT tech and make them part of the team. The fourth and final factor we identified is home access to technology, and it goes along with high expectations. Our research found that one way in which low and high socioeconomic schools differed was in their access to technology outside of school. For example, teachers can provide pamphlets with public library information and other ongoing offers available to the students and families. By providing solutions, we limit the teachers' compromises in the level of expectations for the students. Perhaps the best way to summarize the most important thing we have learned in our research would be that it is the school's own expectations of the students that has the biggest influence in the success of the students and the programs.